In the last video, I talked a little bit about how I hold a pick, and I wanted to make another video because I'm watching the timer, and I know that these apps only allow a certain amount of time. So I know these videos are already long and approaching the max limit. So I couldn't really get into anything else in each video. So I want to go back to how I hold the pick, and the pick that I'm using, that I use at this point, and I've tried a bazillion picks, that'll be a separate video. I use a John Petrucci Jazz, it's like the special signature series Dunlop Jazz pick that he has designed. It's a little larger than a regular jazz pick, and I'm not a big guy. I don't have big hands. In fact, I actually have very small hands, and I'll show that in another video. I actually have hands that are the size of many women's hands. And as such, I kind of just have a mentality of there are smaller players and bigger players, and there's different size picks, and I don't really think that there's an ideal pick size, but I do think that there might be more of an ideal pick ratio of like the pick size to the body size or the hand or finger size. So for me, this is about the perfect size. It's just ever so slightly more, and it's made out of their, I think it's made out of their Ultex material, so I like the sound of it. We'll do picks on another video, but so here's the pick, and I hold it, about about a 90-degree angle. It's like my thumb is kind of perpendicular to the pick, and then my index finger is curled, and it kind of goes at about a 45-degree angle. It's a gentle curl to my finger, and it's kind of entering the pick at about a 45-degree angle. So with my index finger at about a 45-degree angle and my thumb at 90, or maybe it's curved just ever so slightly. It's maybe it's kind of following the curve of the pick itself. Along with that, then that's about how I have my pick. The other thing that I do now that I'm holding the pick the way that I want to hold the pick is I used to do this, and I was really bad at this. So this is another one of those bad habits and form that we want to correct, is I don't tilt. Like, my pick is absolutely perpendicular to the string, and I want it completely perpendicular to the string. I don't want to get lazy with my hand, and we'll get into techniques on how to do this, but I don't want to be like this where I'm kind of tilted up, and that's not normally what we would do. But what we might do is get lazy and kind of hold our hand like this. And if we hold our hand like this and we let, you can kind of see that it go like that too much, well, what's happening is now we're picking, I used to do this all the time, we're picking at a diagonal down into the string on the downstroke, and then we're like picking up away from the string on the upstroke. And that's really not gonna work for us, because now we're catching the string too much on the upstroke. And if we want to play really fast and clean, it's not even, and we need to create an even playing experience for our muscles. So when I am holding the pick, it is absolutely perpendicular. And I've seen some videos of people thinking that the way that you're going to pick fast is holding your pick some sort of weird, unique way. And I'm not a fan of those videos. And I've seen some videos that have millions of views, and I am in no way into or a supporter of you need to hold your pick at some bizarre angle in order to play fast or clean. I think that you need to work on your whole system in order to play fast. And like I said, talk about tension, release the tension, keep your flexibility and your mobility, and then you can play really fast because your muscles are loose. So for me, when you can do that, and I can play fast, is to have the pick at a really just perpendicular to the strings and completely even, just like, again, it's hard to show on the video, but just like this. Now, one thing that I do, and I do for a couple of different reasons, is I do twist my hand this way. So I'm not quite plucking, I want to see if I can get this on the video, like this. Sometimes I do, where the pick, it's like the flat of the pick against the string, I tend to turn like this. It's like easier if I kind of like turn the guitar and keep my hand the same, right? If I turn my hand, it's actually kind of hard to do that. But, you know, if you see here, this right here, if you look at my picking hand is the pick is like the flat of the string. I turn my hand like this. So you can play like this, a lot of people do. I actually turn like this. It's actually, for me, looser. It's almost like my hand is just kind of relaxed like this, because if I let my hand just kind of droop so that it's nice and loose, then it's naturally going to kind of hang and hold the pick. Right now, if you were to look at the pick, it's at a 45-degree angle to the strings. So, you know, playing with a pick such as like this John Petrucci jazz pick is perfect because there's a really nice bevel. So I do better with thicker picks with a bevel to them because I tend to play on the edges and play with that bevel. And there's a lot of great picks to choose from that do that. But if I get a pick that's too flat that comes to sharp edges, and you know, like even Dunlop has a lot of different picks, and they've got, I think, some of their Tortex picks which have more of a sharp edge. It's kind of more flat across the pick with more of a squared off edge. Like I do horribly with those because I can't really play on the edges the way that like a beveled pick like this I can. So again, my picking hand is completely loose. It just naturally kind of hangs down so that it's ready to go, and the pick is about a 45-degree angle. And that's that. One of the things that we will get into, actually I think we're gonna get into this in the next video, so I'm gonna hang on to that idea, which is, you know, sometimes we see guitar players that have their hands up like this, and the reason that their hands are up like that, I've even seen like some of Steve Vai's videos, and I'm not claiming that anybody's doing something for that reason, because I haven't interviewed these people, so I'm not getting that information directly from them, but I do look at their hands. And, you know, if I look at Steve Vai's, it's like there's this, his like pinky, you know, his from his kind of ring finger and pinky on his picking hand are like really like kind of tweaked up like this a lot. And my guess is because if your hand was like this, remember I said you're kind of picking into the guitar and out, and by curling your outer fingers up, it like gets them out of the way, but it also pulls your pick into that perpendicular position that you want. So it's just there naturally. But I think there's a better way, which we're gonna get into in the next video, so stay tuned for that one.